Yeah, thank you very much, Alex. Map number 2, Mousesports obviously taking a very convincing victory over on Trade, and now it is Mirage. This used to be the creme de la creme of the old Mousesports roster at one point in time, and curious to see how that translates across now with this new look roster.
Obviously 2 out of 5 of the players from back then, but at the one point, Harry, I think best team in the world on Mirage at the end of last year. So, sorry, the beginning of last year and the end of the year before. But let's see if that translates. As we get into the pistol, fast A play for Mousesports. They've taken mid and split con, but we've got a double under Bauk setup. This is rare to see. And will it work out? Will they check it? That's a no. Cadian. He's got the element of surprise here as they're all over the bomb site. He can drop that bomb, instead take Woxic down, but he misses his shots, and Woxic will pivot and take the frag instead. A missed opportunity and a missed round here from North in a 2-on-4 retake that surely isn't meant to be.
Especially not with both Kirby and AZ coming from Connector. AZ makes his presence known, and Mousesports going to find the pistol out here. Once again, another on the tally against this North roster. And for Cadian there, I mean, that's just one of those moments where you try and play the trigger discipline, you try and wait. We've all been there, you know, it's happened to each and every one of us, where you try and be smart, and then it's like, oh, I've missed everything, and I'm dead. So, yeah, this one's on me, boys. Mousesports going to find the pistol out here. And as we say, North this time around not going to elect to invest. No force buys, no trickery. Instead, focusing on getting weapons out in the next round. And so for Mousesports, they're going to make mid the focal point here early on. They get Chris J down through short. They actually leave a bit of a gap in that smoke for him to push through. It looks like North might just hedge their bets and elect to stack the majority of their players inside of this B bomb site. It's never going to see the light of day, as Mousesports are going to get into this A site for free.
And I'm sure Cadian realizes as well. He's in the window. He can hear all these footsteps. At this point, if you're North, you're going, okay, do we just hold for exits and hope Mousesports come our way, or do we just run in and die? No good option, really. But the best decision is to stay grouped, at least, to allow for potential trades. Carrigan making some money on the way out as well. Cadian's gone down. Woxic's tapped 2. And this is where North just get finished off. They've got a double ladder room setup, but Carrigan, only 2 for him, but it's fine. Get to upgrade those guns to AKs in the follow-up. North will have their rifles in play. And still no AWP for either side.
One thing that was pretty interesting as well, before we headed into this game, they briefly brought up the scoreboard for either of these teams across all the series, and the bottom performer over on the side of North was actually Valder, if I wasn't mistaken, which is never really a good sign, right? He's someone who we so often look to be the big man to step up within this North squad, so him struggling. You do feel like we need to see a resurgence of Valder here if they want to stand any chance on Mirage. Kirby, now obviously he gave us that little interview as to how he likes to play B short. He's going to be situated up here and boosts a man up and over the top. The issue is this A bomb site has crumbled, and in spite of the boost, in spite of the 2-man stack over on short, Frozen shuts them both down. Now Gade inside of this A bomb site alone is good for another. Won't be able to find Rops, so a 1v1 transpires, and this bomb all the way back in T-spawn. Rops has got to give up A. He's got to go back to get it. Minute and 5 seconds left. And while this might look like, okay, yeah, no, but Rops, he can go anywhere, right? You know, the pressure's maybe on AZ. The issue he's going to have is he's now got no clue as to the whereabouts of this last North player either. And so the question becomes, how long does AZ stay at this A bomb site? How long does he hold his ground and wait for this peak?
The issue is if you're AZ here, you don't really want to rotate because you're gambling anyway, right? It's a 50-50 the majority of the time, and he has no info to work with. So if he gets caught in between sites and either the bomb goes down and he doesn't know where it is, or he gets killed by a late mid-lurk, that would be awkward. So he's just going to stick to his guns, commit towards A as Rops clears out the B site for free. This can sometimes be a bit of a problem. You want to go and check deep within B. This back site position is very common for CTs to hide. He'll get a bomb plant in, and now AZ, the pin has dropped, and he will have to rotate. Still winnable, but no kit here, Harry. That's going to be the biggest problem. And with an open plant, Rops can go pretty much anywhere. It's actually a back default plant, and he's not playing for it. This might catch AZ off guard. And Rops, it's all about timing. Which angle will he hold? The wrong one, apparently, as AZ peeks out, checks close right, and North pick up their first round here on the CT side. The awkward part about that is right before Ops left to go to spawn to get the bomb, AZ was coming through jungle on the A site, so if he held his nerve for like 2-3 more seconds, he probably kills AZ rotating, but can't win them all.
Obviously, that's one of these situations where looking into it with the X-ray, it's very easy to look at the might have happened, but you put yourself in Rop's shoes there, right? He's got no clue where AZ is. For all he knows, he could already have the bomb back in T-spawn, We already saw Kirby kind of highlight how him and AZ play and push and probe that B bomb site together. So, Rops plays things safe. Post plant maybe left a bit to be desired. Was hoping that with the plant for apps, AZ would have read into it as such. So now this buy cobbled together down here. Chris J does get out and over the boost. Woxic going to drop Valda down and connector, but not before he dispatches of Frozen. Gade, once again, it was his big performance in the round prior that kind of salvaged it for North, and he's continuing to impress. Second kill in this round, and this leaves Karrigan and Woxic thrust into the 2v4. They're a long way from one another, and this bomb is still back in T-spawn once again. You're really looking to Woxic to try and find something, and he can't, because Gade has just been such a menace inside of this A-bomb site. It's Karrigan and a 1v4 with the Deeg required of him.
And mid's being covered as well, so he's got to win this duel with a Deagle, but AZ will not allow him. 2 rounds to North. They may have not had the pistol that was said to be potentially a necessity coming into this game, but at least they won their first 2 rifle rounds, Harry, keeping things clean as well. It's Mousesports on the receiving end of the money problems here as they have to eco things out. Likely just going to see a faster B play. So you can't really get anything here. Rops has got a little more money, but might even just opt to hold on to it to drop the AWP back over to Woxic. That would be the best call to make. And yeah, Mousesports splitting B through short. Trying to put focus on middle, draw the attention away of North. And actually, they're going to be coming from the underpass as well. So just fully going for a mid-control round with these pistols. And North are going to be tearing them limb from limb. No survivors here in middle. Frozen with the P250, and he has not even been peaked. North are not going to give him the satisfaction. Actually, I say that. They're going to run deep into mid. Okay, Frozen gets a free kill for it.
Yeah, they're actually pumping him full of satisfaction. And also bullets, which, while it's not the most conventional combination, it does do the job of taking him down. North up 3-2, so they take the lead here on their CT side of Mirage. Gonna see the AWP back in the hands of Woxic, but over on the side of North, no such luxuries can be found. Now, obviously, they did have to rebuy into this round, so they could have elected to bring one out if they wanted to. So you imagine this is a choice to keep the AK out on Cadium. Woxic tries to hold this ramp push, and he will deal with Gade. You think about how influential he's been in a lot of these rounds for North, so that is a huge scalp to find from Woxic, and it's completely untradeable as well. Kirby going to start to aggress in towards top mid in response to this. They've lost a man over on A, so they try and take a foothold elsewhere, try and make it worth it. And while they do catch Frozen just rotating out of mid, Woxic was already posted up to trade that out, and it looks like it's going to culminate in the B site play here from Mousesports.
And the wrong read from North as well. They've gambled here, Harry, with 3 on the A site. The issue is they've even pushed up into ramp, so I'm surprised they went for this gamble rotate. Maybe just caring about the spawn there was Valde, hoping there was no window boost. It's come back into B, and still winnable here for North, who have a 3-on-2 now in their advantage. Just AWP sitting in the back of bench, but AZ almost had the shot. He had the read at least, and Woxic is just shredding them on this B site. 4 kills here, might even get the ace. Cadian's coming from the backline here in the apartments, has a nade for this position, but surely doesn't want to give away where he's coming from. And Woxic, if he doesn't look away here, he's going to be like a lamb to the slaughter, but actually it's Rops to find the final kill. Mousesports take a 3rd round, and what a huge performance from Woxic. Not only finding the opening duel, he gets the trade to middle, and then he locks down 2 kills in a 3-on-2 against them within B. That's a huge impact round from Woxic.
And this is why the Mousesports roster is so exciting, the premise of what they can bring to Mirage, right? You have a bunch of players here who are very, very comfortable on this map back in their own teams, and you think then about Mousesports' success on this map in, times gone by. Admittedly, only Rops and Chris J left from that original roster, but, you bring in Frozen, who used to play, on a lot of the And smaller teams who had this at a focal point of their map pool. Cadian going to drop Carrigan on this entry regardless, so we'll hold that thought. As this A-site play looks to come through, Gade holding close up on the scaffolding. He's getting wallbanged from Rops, not wallbanged rather, just smoke banged.
Just banged, mate. He's gone. And look at Chris, he's within the site. Those smokes are fading as well, but he's still committed here. Going to take the duel to Kiebi and win it out as well. Rops will find another fight that favors him. And Mousesports, all of a sudden, 4-on-2. It's only AZ left to stop this cross, and Valdi on top of the stairs. Both of them will fall to Chris. And another stunning round from Mousesports. That was a full buy from North. Yeah, they had limitations. They had a CZ on Valdi, but we had double AWPs and 2 rifles alongside that, and North just got wrecked like it was Nico.
And this is where that back and forth nature of the early stages of this match do kind of naturally start to stack up a bit in favor of this T side, right? Buys are cheaper. They're keeping things pretty clean as well. And this time, double push in through the lower tunnels from North, but Chris J is primed and ready for exactly this. Carrigan down in mid. Chris gets double peeked, so they have been able to deal with him at the very least, and that's now a Krieg retrieved on Cadian. He's also cleared out the B apartments on the back of this. So if you're Mouse, maybe you're feeling a bit pressured at this point in time to try and make a move. You know that they've cleared one portion of the map. So they will try and hit this A-bomb site, but a nice shot from Gade once again. Holds his own over here in mid, but Woxic able to get rid of him. AZ in with another. This round's still very close. Woxic looks to try and deny anything else the way of North, and this leaves Cadian with that scavenged Krieg. Oh, of course.
He doesn't even peek, Harry. He just fakes. He jiggles. And of course, Woxic gets a wall bang. Dear, oh dear, what a start this man has had. 11-3 right now over on the Mousesports side of things. They minus Oscar, but they plussed Oscar, and boy, was that a good decision, it seems like, for Mousesports. He's shown up pretty much every game we've had so far of this Pro League. Mousesports, again with a buy. Same story for North. No AWP, though. And Rob's early molly to connector will keep North out of middle. That's great, because they missed the cat jump as well, so that molly just landing the connector means they can't stay in middle any longer. Mousesports in the meantime going for the fast B play. Early rotate going to be needed. Kiebi, he's going to hold down the line. The smoke is there. They'll push right through, but he gets one before it blooms. Chris J up close as well, finding the trade. There's a man on bench. Do they realize? No. Kiebi dropping the bomb, and he's got Valde side by side. The 1-2 setup here from North, and a third has moved in as well. This is surely unwinnable for Mousesports.
But you've still got Woxic left standing, who's been a beast on this map thus far, and Rops had a tremendous time back on trade, and oh no, they're making it happen. They're making it possible. They do manage to deal with Wox, but Rops still alive, still kicking, now down to the 1v1 versus Kiebi, and he holds his own. No. Rops with 3. Mousesports gonna convert that 2v4 and find a 6th. It's Rops and Woxic, the heroes there. And now for North, they're going to be kicking themselves. That was one of the best chances we've seen them have of picking up a round in a little while. That could have been their 4th and their way of getting back into this game.
Not even just a 4-2, Harry, but a 4-2 with 4 players in the bomb site. It's not like Mousesports got given at 2 2v2s that they both won. All 4 players were within B when the first kill came through there. So that is, yeah, that's a yikes. North, as you said, kicking themselves, I bet. Kiebi, he's going to run up top mid, not expecting these Ts to hold it. He thought he cleared it as he saw no one come out from the top of connector, but instead he gets taken down. Now it's the Deagle of AZ. He's spotting a couple of players in middle, but he's also not getting anywhere with the Molotov at his feet. He'll rotate towards B, as will the rest of the team, as will Mousesports.
And this means, you know, Mouse are very much in danger of just walking into this B-side stack. The only issue I'm going to have is they walked into a B-side stack with 2 players in the round prior versus full rifles, and they were able to find it. This time it's only pistols on the other side. Also, Cadian with that Zeus over at short, really not an ideal position for it. You would love to have that down beneath the platform in the position that Valdez in right now, but AZ's been able to delete the first man in, and actually onto a second now. Cadian able to drop Chris J. This round gets a lot closer than it ever should have, but it's the late wrap from Rops to save the day as he emerges up through short. The AWP carried forward on the back of Woxic. Mousesports going to be on to a 7th. And they use a tactical timeout here. I think they're all too happy with how costly that round was, considering it was just the pistols over on the side of the Danes.
Well, yeah, they keep walking into B stacks as well, which, you know, again, not been a problem for them in the sense of actually winning the rounds. But, you know, something's going wrong if you're continually, you know, walking into stacks without information. These gambles from North, however, not been paying off regardless, even though they've been correct. And this is where, you know, North can use his tactical boards to their advantage as well, try and work out exactly what's going you know, wrong for them, because this is, again, a slow start to the map. It's not, you know, horrible. It's 7-3, it's fine, but we had the same idea back on Training Harry, where it was 4-4, and we're going, okay, North, they look good, and then suddenly it's 11-4, and then suddenly the map's over. So this is
16-4.
Yeah, so this isn't over, but it could be if something doesn't change.
Yeah, the one good thing that I guess if you're North you have to look at is we've seen some signs of life from the likes of AZ and Gade, namely Kirby having a few good showings as well, and he tries his hand at the mid-aggression. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Cadian missed the cross from Chris as well, and there's a lot of C's. There's Chris going to see the man inside of the bomb site just to top things off. Cadian here called for the rotation from Gade and AZ. There's 3 players stacked up inside of B. Mousesports running into a stack yet again. Will it finally be their downfall as they're knocking on the door of this B bomb site? And North are here to answer the call. Chris J answers back as best he can. Frozen out from the apartments now. And Chris J with the Krieg. Krieg J does finally get dealt with. The wrap from Rops has to come in quickly. Frozen, thrown into the 1v2, essentially inside of this bomb site. And now it's the late flank from Rops to try and do it all.
He came from Cat last time. They might be scared of that, but no one has got their eyes on the back market flank, and he knows exactly where both these players at least were at one point. Oh, he plays for the info, finds Valdes, he flicks back around. Does Rops know there's a man on bench to know? Focus on the bomb, and Gade blindsides him from the sidelines. Nice try from Rops. You could see he didn't want to take that first kill. He'd rather get the info and find out where the second player was, but Valdes looked back. He had to take the shot. And Gade there with a trade keeps the round alive for North. Harry, another B stack that Mousesports walk into, and finally North win it, but by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, and only having one player survive at a round like that can actually come back to hurt you if you're North, right? They've had to rebuy on 4 players. They've got the AWP in the hands of Cadian, which is nice. That was actually saved by Gade at the end of that last round. The issue they have is if they lose this, if they're not able to convert this round, which really they should be able to when you look at the buy over on the side of Mouse, they're going to be for a world of hurt. Kirby here shuts down Carragher, the first man in. They've been conditioned to stack all 4 players at this B bomb site. Cadian up close on the ramp. Oh, he's dancing around. He's dancing at the ramp. And he's shutting them down left and right. It's Woxic, a 1v5. The bomb is down, but that is the only silver lining, and I doubt he's even going to bother peeking into this.
It's not even planted for him. It's a default plant. They just took it desperation. It's, you know, running in a 2-on-5 and just trying to plant. That was the aim for Mousesports. Or at least keep some money, but they do lose the round. Carrigan was trying to force early rotates towards B as well and make North scared of that site once more by just running in with a MAC-10. Unfortunately, gets shut down with nothing there and kind of spirals out of control for Mousesports. North beginning to get on the grind, Harry. 2 rounds in a row here from the Danes. Not wanting Mousesports to get too far ahead of themselves. We said some things need to change, and they have. At least we're seeing some rounds be picked up on the CT side. And I imagine we're going to get a little bit more as well. With pistols in the hands of Mousesports, North might be able to find their 6th here.
And on the back of them spotting Valde crossing out a mid, well, they anticipate Kirby just to have been boosted up on top of the cinder blocks. I'm not entirely convinced. Carrigan's certainly not ready for it. The benefit of being in this position, as you see, Kirby's able to get one and then duck back into the ladder and take up a position on short now. And this means that he can look to help out in that B bomb site if needed. Smoke himself off, and this now buys time, and also it creates the illusion that he could have crossed back into that B bomb site. Rops. Ooh. Opens up a bit of a path into A perhaps, but Kirby's back again. Frozen has been able to usurp him and get into the ladder room, and Kjaerbye not ready for that, not quite prepared for the aggressive man up close. The Deegs are doing it, Hugo. Frozen able to get another. The bomb dropped down in mid, and it's AZ asked to clutch, but Rops is there. The crossfire between Frozen and Rops pulls through, and between them, they've locked in that eco round for Mousesports.
Oof, Harry, 1 rifle saved and 4 pistols. Mousesports get it done. And yeah, instant tactical pause from North. They are going to be feeling a bit crushed about that. There have been some very silly rounds that North have lost this map so far. And it is going to hurt them in the long run, because 10-5 potential in the half here from Mousesports.
Here's a funny one. I was just looking at the stats for this, and the 5 top-ranked players thus far of EPL are all 5 of the Mousesports players.
I believe
yeah, I mean, that makes sense, right? That we've had big moments from everyone within this squad.
And Carrigan's been fragging crazy as well. He's been playing really, really well individually, you know, despite being that in-game leader. We've seen many multi-kills from him as well. So, yeah, it's a great sign of things to come from Mousesports, and you're sitting in the lead on map 2 as well.
Obviously, there's only 20 players, right, to be in that list right now. But
and it would, of course, be the team that's 2-0.
Yeah.
But for 5 players,
yeah, no,
you know,
to all be up there, that's normally
exactly.
unheard. You know, maybe you got like 3, maybe you got 4, but usually we see like the IGL slipped out a bit. Carrigan's been putting up big numbers.
Or just one good player that, you know, for Optical North who have won maps and had close series as well to be up there as a surprise, but. I embrace it. Oh dear, Woxic knew. He saw the barrel of the gun poking through the window, so even though he got flash, he shot reaction off the back of it and got a kill. AZ's dead as well. The B site, Harry, it's crumbled once again.
And we've seen Mousesports have a real affinity with this B bomb site. Perhaps Carrigan identifying something that he feels like can be exploited there, right? Because you think about how many times they walked into stacks over at B, and they were able to win it even then the majority of the time. But you do wonder why you just keep throwing bodies into the stack. But this is almost definitely the save from North. They want to have something to take with them into the last round of this first half, and Kjaerbye's not even able to elude the man over in top mid. And Rops is going to go hunting, right? I mean, you can afford to throw one more body at these players over on the side of North. They're desperately trying to cling onto these rifles. Gade over in CT is a long way from Valdez, so there's no crossfire, no trade potential here if he goes down, but he won't. So his guns held forward, and this does facilitate 4 rifles to come out now over on the side of North.
Yeah, that's the silver lining for the last round of the half, but 9-6, 10-5 doesn't matter. This is a fantastic T side for the Mousesports. We'll see if they can put the cherry on top, Harry. No AWP for KD as well to fight back. We've got Gade and AZ at least performing this map. I mean, you know, 3 players on double digits here for North, and they have had some very close rounds, but no cigar. Great flashbang from Kjaerbye. Chris J caught out in the other pass, and that's some information as well, because now they can rotate AZ off of B, knowing that the B apartments are clear. Kjaerbye falls back passive. He won't continue, scared of the top mid hold, but Mousesports, well, they are in mid. They're not holding the top. They're running right through.
Yeah, straight past these defensive smokes once again. Cadian, I don't think he was spotted there, but he was the second time around. Carrigan able to delete him. They're not anticipating this fast wrap through from Valde. No smoke in jungle, so maybe a bit of an error there to completely discount this position. AZ and Valde with this crossfire, trying to find something, but they just can't. It's Kjaerbye arriving once again through the jungle. You're really getting punished for the lack of smokes here on the side of Mousesports, and they know where Kjaerbye resides. He just plucked one for the ranks of Mouse from jungle. And Rops is homing in his sights on this position. It's a 10-5 half in favor of Mouse.
Yeah, I love that, the way they play that as well. Once Valde gets a kill from the backline, Mousesports wait till Rops is out ramp so they can triple peek it and trade. That's a really good call from Carrigan. 10-5 on the half. Mousesports looking damn good. Let's see if they can find this 2-0 victory. Join us after the break. Mousesports running wild in this best of 3 series. Ooh. Sorry. That was that was a choke.
It's all right, yeah, man. Well, who's choked harder? You or North in some of these advantageous rounds? That's the big question. They've had so many times where they've been sitting, with the man advantage, things are looking good, and then it all turns sour. Well, 10-5 right now in favor of Mouse.
We've got mics up in the North room, but I don't speak enough Danish to be able to answer any of your questions.
You know any Danish?
I know a couple of words, but let's just not even.
No,
let's not even. Bad idea. I want to hear Mousesports comms. That's something I can understand, Harry. But yeah, this is incredible for Mousesports, looking to go 3-0 in their group here.
Oh, and look, you can actually head on over to ESL CS on Twitter and vote for the Game Fuel Power Play. We've got a lot of them here, and a lot of them coming from the same suspects. We got Woxic appearing twice in that. He's had so many big moments, but it feels like everyone at Mousesports has.
Especially Kerrigan as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this has been a real highlight game, as you would expect from this Mousesports roster, right? The individual talent on this team is insurmountable by many rosters. So it's kind of exciting to see this many star players in one team. You got young guns, you got experienced older folk, you've got IGLs who can frag, you've got a star AWP player who's young and hungry as well. I mean, this is really a powerful roster. And I will say as well, something that surprised me when I saw this team announced, the one question mark I had was Frozen in this roster. And he has been, to me, probably the most surprisingly impressive player out of this team.
Yeah, he's had some phenomenal moments. For me, the thing that's so impressive is, you bring in some young, rather unproven talent, right? You add him into the roster, and it's not uncommon that we either see them. There's normally two ways it goes, right? Either they really impress or they really fall short of any expectations that we had.
Or you don't give them enough time and you cut them after a month.
Yeah.
The American way.
Yeah, no, that's one as well. But I mean, he's really impressed me. Not just with his ability of just like kind of raw talent, but his decision making in a lot of these important rounds has just been fantastic for someone who hasn't really competed at this level before.
Yeah, definitely not. And coming straight into LAN format, Pro League, no messing around. It's not a long season where you get to play 30 games. You got 3 best of 3s, and you better prove yourself. And Mousesports certainly have. 6 rounds away from a spot in the finals in France. And Mousesports, they're feeling hungry for baguettes, Harry. As we jump into this one, North on the T-side pistol. Fast mid-play from 3 with a double play down ramp. That's actually Gade alone. His teammates backed off. AZ's left. They're going to go into the B site. Mousesports are playing retake on B. Not too common, but the smokes did draw their rotation. 2 smokes on the A site there from North. And now it's very clear where this push is coming through.
Yeah, these rotations come through from Mousesports. Carrigan gonna try and lead the charge, and only good for one. The clash of the big brains there. Cadian comes up trumps. Now moving back into this 4-on-4, you're really looking towards Gade here to come in late and mop up a few of these players. You can see that number 4 in the minimap rotating in through short, desperately trying to get there in time, but the players inside of the bomb site have to hold their own. Ooh. Gade, the bomb is planted for him. This was all by design, but Rops bests him. Quick double. Where's this come from? How's it happened? I couldn't tell you, but Mousesports in with another pistol round.
Robs, what on earth is that? I mean, Gade, he definitely doesn't need to take that fight, but he's trying to support his teammate from the apartments in that 2-on-2. If they play passive, they win the round, but instead, confidence after the first shot, tries to follow up, and Robs just taps both players in the 2-on-2. What an incredible round from him. He is 20-6, Harry. 20-6.
Yeah, just incredible. And keeping it up from Train, right? He actually got off to a reasonably slow start back on that map, right? It wasn't really till the fifth sort of round that we saw him find his own. Looked like early on he might have been struggling inside a B. The fast play into this A bomb site, and actually North went for this 4 spy on the back of the bomb plant. They're really hoping that they can find something here, though. If not, you can give Mousesports a 13-5 lead. So these rounds are the important ones, and Kierby kind of up the creek without a paddle here. He gets left over in CT spawn all alone. They mop up everyone, and Mousesports now looking good to take a 13-5 lead.
Yeah, the smokes actually work to the favor of Mousesports. Frozen hides on the bench behind it, and he gets away. If Kiebi kills him, maybe there's a round there for North, but the repeat from CT, the A1S taking him down, and 12 rounds, Harry. 4 more for Mousesports. And I will say, of all the games in this group, I thought this would be one of the closest, if not the closest. So far, it's looked like one of the most dominant. We've had a 16-4, and we've got a 12-5 right now. This is insanely one-sided.
Yeah, and you understand why they're doing it so quickly, right? Carrigan's birthday party is scheduled for 7:30. That's in 40 minutes. So, yeah,
okay.
he's got to get a move on. And it looks like he might get there in time. 12-5 is the scoreline right now, and obviously it is just a flat eco from North here on the back of that force in the round prior.
Yikes.
But Gade is in with the trade. He's only got the Deeg. You know, this is a light investment round from North, so anything that they can find is going to be pretty valuable.
The issue is, it doesn't really matter about value in these rounds, Harry. You've got to be winning them. I know you've only got pistols, and apparently that's not going to hold Gade back. 3 from him with a Deagle. That's not the first time we've seen him go off with a Deeg. I think it was him back on train yesterday where he just burst into the site and got 2 1-Deegs on an eco round. Unfortunately, North still lost that. But happened again here, I guess. 3 kills from him with a Deeg and a round for Mousesports. Great attempt, but no cigar. It's Cadian on the AWP, but he's got Woxic to deal with.
And this has always been the thing with North, right? You always look at this roster. It feels like they have all the pieces there. But it's just, you know, whenever you need to have that like consistent player showing up, whenever you need to have a few consistent players showing up, that's where they struggle. There's always one without the others. This round, Cadian already dropped down here in mid. Woxic takes that aggressive peek over the top of the smoke, and Chris J, yeah, looked a bit curious, and then it's like, maybe I don't want to throw this round away. Decides just to take a more passive position back up on short. Largely on the back of Woxic getting cancelled out over in connector as well. The utility kept him at bay. So mid control goes the way of North. They had to pay the price for it, though, in losing Cadian. Now set up with players in Palace and Ramp. This is almost certainly looking to collapse into the A-bomb site from the Danes.
Yeah, splitting. Valde snuck through, but Frozen's holding close, and he's even got a teammate on site to trade. Valde caught checking behind Sandwich, and he'll get shot in the back. Frozen getting away with 1. Gade does find Rops in the meantime, but we still had this player up on short to stop the cat play. It doesn't look sure as if North are committing towards the A site, but this window boost may throw a spanner in the works. Woxic's dead. They could even split into B through market here. Boost up from Mousesports on the catwalk to try and get more info as to Con, but Frozen has been hung out to dry. He's got to win his duel, and he does. Teammates supporting from short as well, and Chris J with another 2K to round out 14 for Mousesports. Some really nice mid-rounding there from North, but just not good enough. They catch the player in the window boost in that 4-on-4, but Mousesports winning the duels, and they were just so aware of what North were trying to pull. That's really been the, you know, one of the more important factors across both these maps. Mousesports have seemingly been on top of every move North have made on this T side, both on Train and on Mirage.
Yeah, the crazy thing is, right, you look at day 1 when North played versus Optic, and it was quite easy to look at that one and say North really didn't play to the usual standard. But in this map especially, you know, it feels like we have the necessary players showing up, as you say. But it is just that Mousesports always seem one step ahead. And the second that North are able to cling on to an advantage and actually keep things in their favor, there's always some sort of response, whether that's just one man stepping up individually on the side of Mouse, or, you know, they win the round, but then they're able to lose the next. Then it's straight back onto the reset. This round, it is just the partial investment. They're setting up outside of A initially with 3 players here. That bomb on the back of Valde starts his rotation round. They set Cadian up to go for this mid flank, and he should catch Woxic here. He will. There's the AWPer gone. Frozen now has to turn his attention towards connector, and he's lost his teammate inside of the bomb site. So once again, we're looking to Frozen to try and anchor this down, try and buy some time for his teammates to get into position.
They've already gotten a CT, though. This is a bit of a problem. They have a crossfire to this bomb. Chris J and Carrigan out of nowhere with a kill apiece. Flashbang holds these CTs back for the retake. And Kiebi, he wants to try and win a battle, try and relieve some of the pressure in this 2-on-3, because they're down a man and the time is plentiful for Mousesports. Frozen wins another fight, and it is just another clean retake for Mousesports. Even though North get control towards the CT spawn, it does not help them.
And not only that, you look at the 2 players that they dropped, Rops and Woxic, you know, 2 of the top performers here of Mirage.
The 2 top performers.
Yeah, and you figured that that would have been enough for them to have found, or at least created a bit more of a situation in that round. Felt like they had everything in place. You had players pushed into CT, you had the crossfire set up between the players and the bomb site and Palace. The bomb was planted passively, right? So you can peek that from Palace and CT. That's exactly where we saw the majority of those North players. And even then, it's just massive performances in that round from Frozen, Carrigan, and Chris J. Last bite in the tank for North, potentially their last bite in this series. Ops back on Cadian, so they at least have that to look forward to. Chris J already in the lower tunnels, but there are players posted up here to deal with this. It's Gade and Valdet lying in wait on the other side, and they're trying to bait the peek out from Chris J, but the timing could not be worse. Gade falls just as Valdet gets that reload off, and Chris does hang around just a little bit, drops that smoke to try and fake that he's fallen back in towards middle. Valdet didn't fall for it. So a 4-on-4 is going to start to favor North a bit here.
Oh, but look at this re-aggression. Woxic is hungry, and he's going to push into the B apartments. This is the info that Mousesports need in this 4-on-4. They don't know where this bomb's going. And Woxic just having this line of sight has allowed Carrigan to rotate towards short, get some more info on mid. This is also clear. It's North setting up for the A play. AZ's up in Palace, 3-man down on the ramp with smoke saved for this execution. It's only Rops committed within the bomb site. He's got to get at least 1 kill here to set his teammates up for the retake. Going back towards under Bauk. 3 mollies on North. This should get covered, and it will. Rops pushed out behind the cinder blocks, but this is still a very valuable position. Valdi won't check it. Free kill for Rops, and the bomb spotted as well. He gets traded, but his job is done.
Yeah, and already Mousesports are here knocking on the door before the bomb's even gone down, and they've even got as far as to drop it. It actually drops over in CT. That's a disaster. It's AZ left standing, but it's just not happening. There's only 7 seconds left anyway, so the round was all said and done. It's 16-7 here in favor of Mousesports. They take this series in a 2-1 fashion. Sorry, 2-0 fashion, and they're going to go flawless in Group A. Phenomenal stuff from the new squad, and my word, it's been a real treat getting to watch